Have you ever felt like something was trying to get your attention? A sudden coincidence, a recurring dream, or an uneasy feeling you couldn't shake? What if these weren't random events but deliberate messages from the universe, calling you to pay attention, to realign, to act? The universe is always speaking to you, not with words but through subtle signs, emotions, and synchronicities. It's as if it's whispering, nudging, and, when necessary, shouting for you to notice what truly matters. These messages are not meant to scare you but to awaken you, guiding you toward your highest path. But here's the question: are you listening? For many, these warnings go unnoticed, drowned out by the noise of everyday life. We get so caught up in routines, distractions, and doubts that we fail to see the signs right in front of us. Yet, the universe is patient. When a whisper doesn't work, it sends a nudge. And if we continue to ignore it, the message often grows louder, manifesting as challenges, setbacks, or even crises. Imagine standing at a crossroads, and the universe is holding up a sign pointing you toward the path of growth, healing, or transformation. Will you follow it, or will you turn away, thinking it's just a coincidence? In this video, we'll explore how the universe communicates with you, why these warnings are sent, and how to recognize and act on them before they become too loud to ignore. By the end, you'll know how to tune into these messages and use them to create a life of purpose, alignment, and peace. The signs are there waiting for you to notice. The question is, are you ready to listen? What does it mean to receive a warning from the universe? To understand what it means to receive a warning from the universe, we first need to shift how we view the world around us. Life isn't just a series of random events. It's a dynamic, interconnected web of energy, constantly responding to your thoughts, emotions, and actions. The universe communicates through this energy, offering guidance, reminders, and sometimes urgent warnings to help you realign with your true path. The language of the universe. The universe doesn't use words to speak. It uses signs, symbols, and feelings. A recurring number sequence might appear when you're doubting your direction, or a sudden obstacle could arise when you're heading down a path that doesn't serve your highest good. These moments are not coincidences. They are part of the universe's way of guiding you. Think of the universe as a teacher, constantly providing feedback. When you're aligned with your true self, the signs often feel like gentle encouragement, synchronicities, moments of flow, or sudden clarity. But when you're straying from your path, the universe may send warnings, discomfort, delays, or experiences that push you to reflect and change course. A warning is an opportunity. It's important to understand that a warning from the universe isn't a punishment or something to fear. It's an opportunity to grow, to pause, and to ask yourself, am I living in alignment with my truth? For example, a recurring sense of exhaustion might be the universe's way of telling you that you're overcommitting and neglecting your well-being. A strained relationship could be a signal to heal unresolved emotions or establish healthier boundaries. These warnings are not meant to cause suffering. They're meant to awaken you to areas of your life that need attention. How the universe guides you back to your path. When you ignore the subtle signs, the universe has a way of amplifying its message. It starts as a whisper, an intuitive nudge, or a passing thought. If you don't act, the whisper becomes a tap, a missed opportunity, a feeling of stagnation, or a minor setback. And if the tap is ignored, it becomes a shove, a significant challenge that forces you to stop and reevaluate. This progression isn't meant to scare you, but to help you. Each stage is an invitation to listen, reflect, and course correct. The earlier you recognize these signs, the easier it becomes to realign without unnecessary struggle. Recognizing the signs in everyday life. The universe sends warnings in countless ways, but they often fall into a few common categories. Emotional signals, feelings of anxiety, frustration, or emptiness that arise repeatedly. Physical symptoms, fatigue, tension, or discomfort in the body when something is out of balance. External events. Unexpected delays, obstacles, or disruptions that challenge your plans. Synchronicities or patterns. Recurring numbers, symbols, or themes that catch your attention. These signs are meant to guide you, not overwhelm you. The key is to pay attention and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? This is what it means to receive a warning from the universe, a reminder that you are not separate from the flow of life, but an integral part of it. The universe isn't trying to control you. It's working with you, co-creating a path that aligns with your highest potential. In the next section, we'll explore the types of warnings the universe sends and how to recognize their unique messages in your life. The types of warnings the universe sends. The universe communicates in ways that are deeply personal, using the language of energy, emotion, and experience to catch your attention. These messages often show up as recurring patterns in your life, designed to guide you back into alignment when something feels off. But they're not always obvious. They often whisper rather than shout, inviting you to tune in and pay attention to the subtle details of your inner and outer world. Have you ever felt a persistent sense of unease, as though something in your life just didn't sit right? That feeling is no accident. Emotional turbulence, whether it's frustration, anxiety, or sadness, can often signal that a part of your life is out of harmony. For example, if every thought about your job leaves you drained or uninspired, the universe might be nudging you to reevaluate whether your current path aligns with your true passions. These emotions aren't inconveniences to be ignored. They're messengers, pointing toward areas of your life that need care and attention. The same is true for your physical body. Have you noticed how it reacts when you're under stress, overworked, or out of balance? A recurring headache, sudden fatigue, or a feeling of heaviness in your chest could be a way for the universe to draw your awareness to something deeper. Your body often speaks when words fail, urging you to pause and listen. But it's not just internal signals that carry meaning. Sometimes the universe reaches out through the world around you. Think about the last time you encountered a series of coincidences that felt too precise to be random. Maybe a particular number sequence kept appearing, or a phrase you needed to hear showed up unexpectedly in a conversation or book. These synchronicities act like breadcrumbs, guiding you toward clarity and purpose. They're not just coincidences. They're invitations to notice the connections you might otherwise miss. And then there are the external disruptions that can feel frustrating or inconvenient. Missed opportunities, sudden delays, or plans that fall apart at the last moment. At first glance, these obstacles might seem like setbacks, but they're often redirections, pushing you toward a path that better aligns with your highest good. Consider the moments in your life when things didn't go as planned, only for something even better to emerge later. The universe has a way of clearing the way, even if it doesn't always feel that way in the moment. Dreams can also carry profound messages. Have you ever woken up from a vivid dream with a lingering feeling that it meant something important? Recurring dreams or powerful imagery often reflect the subconscious mind's connection to the universe's guidance. A dream of being lost might mirror feelings of disconnection or uncertainty in your waking life, while symbols like water or light could hint at emotional healing or new beginnings. Even the people around you can act as mirrors, reflecting back the lessons you need to learn. Conflict in a relationship might highlight areas where you're being called to grow, while the presence of a supportive friend could remind you of the importance of trust and vulnerability. Every interaction holds the potential for insight if you're open to seeing it. These warnings from the universe are never random, and they're not meant to overwhelm you. They're gentle, or sometimes not so gentle reminders that you're part of a larger flow, and they invite you to realign with that flow when you've strayed. The key is to stay curious, to notice the patterns, and to trust that these messages are guiding you toward your highest potential. Why some people ignore these warnings. Despite the universe's persistent attempts to communicate, many people overlook or dismiss its messages. It's not because the signs aren't there, it's because they're often subtle, unexpected, or require a level of self-awareness that can feel uncomfortable. Understanding why these warnings go unnoticed is key to learning how to tune in more deeply. For many, the busyness of modern life drowns out the whispers of the universe. There's always a deadline to meet, a phone to check, or a worry occupying the mind. In the constant hum of distractions, it's easy to miss the gentle nudge of intuition or the synchronicity of events aligning in your favor. Imagine walking through a bustling city street. How often do you pause to notice the birdsong amidst the noise? The universe's messages can be just as easily lost in the chaos. Fear also plays a significant role in why people ignore these warnings. Recognizing a sign often means acknowledging that something in your life needs to change, and change can feel daunting. It's easier to stay in familiar patterns, even if they're unfulfilling, than to step into the uncertainty of transformation. For example, if the universe sends you a recurring sense of unease about a relationship or career choice, acting on that feeling might mean letting go of something you've relied on for security. Fear of the unknown can create a barrier to truly hearing and acting on these messages. Another challenge is skepticism. Many dismiss the idea of universal guidance as mere coincidence or imagination. They question whether a repeating number sequence or a recurring dream could truly hold meaning, attributing it to chance rather than considering the possibility of deeper significance. This skepticism often stems from a culture that prioritizes logic over intuition, teaching us to trust only what we can measure or prove. And then there's the issue of self-doubt. Even when someone notices a sign, they might second-guess its meaning. Am I imagining this? What if I'm reading too much into it? These doubts can cause hesitation, preventing action and leaving the message unanswered. Finally, unresolved emotions or past wounds can create blocks that make it difficult to hear the universe's messages. When you're carrying the weight of grief, anger, or guilt, your energy becomes clouded, and it's harder to perceive the subtleties of universal guidance. Imagine trying to see through a fogged window. The view is still there, but the clarity is lost. But here's the truth. The universe doesn't give up. If you miss the first sign, it will send another and another until the message becomes impossible to ignore. The signs may grow louder, appearing as persistent patterns or even challenges that force you to stop and reflect. The good news is that it's never too late to start listening. Even if you've overlooked the signs before, you can begin tuning in now by cultivating awareness, quieting the noise, and trusting your inner guidance. By recognizing the reasons why these messages might go unnoticed, you empower yourself to break through those barriers and reconnect with the flow of life. In the next section, we'll explore how to actively recognize these warnings and take meaningful steps to align with the guidance the universe is offering you. How to recognize and act on the universe's warnings. Recognizing the warnings from the universe requires more than just awareness. It demands a willingness to slow down, listen, and trust. These messages are always there, waiting for your attention. But learning how to truly hear and act on them can transform the way you navigate your life. The first step is cultivating stillness. In the constant noise of modern life, the whispers of the universe can easily go unheard. By creating moments of quiet, you allow the subtle messages to emerge. This could be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to breathe deeply, meditate, or sit in nature without distractions. Think of it as tuning into a radio frequency. The quieter your mind, the clearer the signal becomes. Another powerful practice is paying attention to patterns. The universe often communicates through repetition, presenting the same themes, numbers, or events until you take notice. For example, if you keep encountering the same advice in conversations, books, or even songs, it might be time to reflect on how that message applies to your life. Ask yourself, what is this pattern trying to tell me? But recognizing a warning is only half the journey. The real transformation happens when you act on it. This doesn't mean making drastic changes overnight. It starts with small, intentional steps. If you've been feeling a persistent sense of unease about a situation, begin by journaling your thoughts or talking to someone you trust. If the universe is urging you to slow down, Schedule time for rest or self-care. Trust is essential here. Acting on these messages often requires stepping into the unknown, which can feel uncomfortable or even scary. But remember, the universe isn't trying to lead you astray. It's guiding you toward alignment and growth. The more you trust and follow these signs, the more clearly they'll appear, creating a positive feedback loop of guidance and action. It's also important to release the need for immediate answers. Sometimes the meaning of a warning doesn't become clear until after you've taken the first step. By focusing on the process rather than the outcome, you allow the journey to unfold naturally. For example, if you feel drawn to explore a new opportunity, take the initial step without needing to know exactly where it will lead. The universe often reveals the next piece of the puzzle when the time is right. Gratitude is another key to deepening your connection to these messages. When you acknowledge and appreciate the signs you receive, you strengthen your alignment with the universe. Even a simple thank you, spoken silently or written in a journal, can amplify your ability to perceive and act on guidance. Finally, stay open and curious. The universe communicates in ways that are deeply personal, and its messages might not always fit your expectations. What looks like a setback might actually be a redirection. What feels like a loss could be clearing the way for something better. By approaching these signs with curiosity and an open heart, you create space for growth and discovery. Recognizing and acting on the universe's warnings isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Each moment offers an opportunity to tune in, take a step, and trust that you're being guided toward your highest potential. In the final section, we'll reflect on the importance of these warnings and how listening to them can create a life of greater alignment, purpose, and peace. Listening to the universe's warnings to transform your life. The universe is always speaking to you, offering guidance, support, and wisdom through the signs it sends. These warnings are not meant to instill fear, but to awaken you, to remind you of your power to realign with your highest path. By learning to listen, you unlock a deeper connection to yourself and the flow of life. You begin to see that every challenge, every synchronicity, and every emotion carries a message meant just for you. These messages are invitations, not demands, to step into greater awareness, to make choices from a place of alignment, and to embrace the unfolding of your journey. Imagine what your life could look like if you truly listened. Instead of pushing through discomfort or dismissing your intuition, you'd honor those feelings as sacred guides. Instead of resisting change, you'd trust the redirections as part of a greater plan. The path ahead might not always be easy, but it would be meaningful, purposeful, and uniquely yours. But listening is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you act, when you take the lessons embedded in these warnings and use them to create a life that feels authentic and aligned. Each step you take in response to the universe's guidance strengthens your connection to its wisdom and opens doors to opportunities you never imagined. So ask yourself, what message has the universe been trying to send you? Are you ready to listen, to trust, and to take the next step toward your highest potential? The signs are all around you, waiting for your attention. The question is no longer whether the universe is speaking to you. It's whether you are ready to hear it and embrace the changes it's inviting you to make.